professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a Scantron, pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. I don't believe some of y'all trauma stories, man. When I say some, I should say most. I don't believe most of y'all trauma stories. Now, what I might start saying might be, might tick somebody off, or a hit dog might holler, or people might go, man, you're just a mean person. But I think like a lot of these stories are either you're lying to cover up your stupidity and hard-headedness, or, you're stupid. And you don't want people to know how stupid you were. So when I hear people online talking about trauma, at some point somebody says what happened to them that traumatized them, a traumatic experience. And you're just like, that's weak, dog. That's what it was. Like, you went down this complete path because of that. That's an excuse. It's an excuse most times. It's a lie most times, because like you hear people say, when I was this age, this happened, and this happened, and da. And then the way they tell a story, it doesn't add up. You're like, well, wait, something's off. Like, what about this, and this? It's like, okay, you're not telling the whole truth. So this trauma isn't really trauma. You got people who are out here who are just dumb, and when they say we traumatized them, then you realize, no, you just stupid. Like, you got traumatized from consequences, from being stupid. You got traumatized and made up the story from consequences of being hard-headed. That's what your trauma is, consequences. So that's why I say I don't believe all y'all trauma. Some of y'all, when I was a kid, and it's like, were you in an abusive family? No. So you weren't in an abusive family? No. So did they correct you? Yeah. Sometimes they cuss you out for correcting you? Yeah. 9 times out of 10, you know what that is? They told you something and they had to tell you over and over again, and then you got in trouble. That is not trauma. That's you being a hard-headed kid. If you was one of them kids they told to go to bed every night at a certain time, and they told you to go to bed and stop playing around, and you kept playing around and you got whippings, and now you was an abused child. No, you was a hard-headed child who got whippings because you didn't go to bed, because you didn't listen. They told you to take out the trash. You didn't take out the trash. You got a whipping. You was a hard-headed kid. That's what it was. You get what I'm saying? So then you got people who become teenagers, and when they're teenagers, I'm a teenager. I'm about to be grown. I know everything. You stupid. I'm smart. It's like, okay. And then you so smart that you get yourself in a numerous amount of dumb situations, and then you get in trouble for it, and then you don't like the punishments and consequences of making dumb decisions because you thought you were so smart. And then all of a sudden, I'm traumatized by what happened. You're not traumatized. You just make bad decisions. Bad decisions come with consequences. Just like good choices come with consequences. You make bad choices. That's not trauma. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all tell these stories, and and it goes all the way up to young adults. Some of y'all wanted to, I'm finally grown, I could do whatever I want. And you were grown and you was doing whatever you want. And guess what? Whatever you want cost you more than you thought. And now all of a sudden it's trauma. It's like, no, that's not trauma. That's not trauma. Some of y'all really saying y'all had trauma, but it's really regret. Some of y'all saying, oh, I had trauma, but it's really discipline or punishment. Some of y'all are saying, y'all had trauma, and it's really just, you don't even remember what happened. So you made up trauma because that's the only reasonable thing you could come up with to make yourself look good. Some of y'all just make up trauma to make yourself look good. You made yourself the victim in the story to get attention and respect from other people, because if they knew the true story, they'll look at you sideways. So you got a fake trauma. So now it's kind of like, it's an issue. So to me, it's like, a lot of y'all are playing games, and then, some of you went to school, but you didn't study. And, now you look at your life and you look back like, if I would have did that, I would have been better. But now you traumatized. Some of y'all played sports and you didn't work out. You didn't listen to your coaches. And now you're looking back and you're saying they were too hard on you, but it was trauma because they were getting on you about you not doing work. A lot of this trauma comes from people told you to put in the work, people showed you how to put in the work, people helped you along the way, and you just blew it. You blew it. That's what happened. You blew it. And you don't want to say, yo, I blew it. Let me take responsibility. I did this, and this. So that's not, you got people lying because they're traumatized by all these people in the world, but have never been traumatized by the bad decisions they've made. And that's how I know that 85 to 90% of you people are lying, because it's obvious that a lot of people just made bad decisions because they wanted to, and because when you hear the people who actually been through trauma, those stories sound a whole lot severe. They sound very serious, and they came out of the blue, and you can tell something happened to them. They didn't do something to themselves. So a lot of times y'all get on my nerves online trying to say y'all got trauma because people actually went through something that you didn't go through. You ain't even in the same ballpark. They were doing the right things and something bad happened to them. You were doing the wrong things and something bad happened to you. That's not trauma. That's what happens. But I'm done. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take it.